Now this Bible is our true heritage, it's our true history. Our forefathers is the ones that God was dealing with to write the prophecies in this Bible. You understand? Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee.
Now he said Israel. Israel is the 12 tribe children of Israel, right? This is the sign right here. As you can see yourself on this sign right here. Come over and check this out, bro. You see yourself on this sign. Now this is the 12 tribes of children of Israel. This is our original biblical tribal names. But on the side right here, we were given these names in slavery, right? So if you was to fill out an application, which one of these would you fill? Judah. So you would be so-called African American, right? So you are the tribe of Judah, right? That's who we truly are. This is the truth that we are here to bring to our people. Read that again.
Deuteronomy chapter 33 and verse 29. Happy art thou, O Israel, who is like unto thee, all people saved by the Lord, the shield of thy help, and who is the sword of thy excellency. And thine enemies shall be found liars.
Shall be what?
Found liars.
Said our enemies shall be found liars. Right? Keep reading.
And thine enemies shall be found liars unto thee, and thou shalt tread upon thy high places.
You shall tread upon thy high places. Because this is what our enemies have done. They have taught us these lies, saying that we are African American, saying that we are Negroes, saying that we 3/5 of a human being, saying that we are nothing, we are thugs, we are savages, we are dogs, saying that we are childish, we are foolish. You know what I'm saying? That we don't have the intellect. You know what I'm talking about? We don't have that purpose in life. Our men doesn't have that purpose. That's why God is dealing with you, because you're supposed to be a man of God. You're supposed to be a leader of your community. To help raise these children and get out of these wicked ways from killing one another. You understand, bro? Give me Proverbs 8 and 4. But check these out. You know these lies, right? They say this is Jesus Christ. So how do Jesus really supposed to look?
They said he had swarm, he was black, he was like black and have
woolly hair.
Like never heard like black folk.
Yes, he has woolly hair. He looks like you and me. So why would they teach us like that image that you just dropped right there? That's in your flyer, bro. That is biblical fact that Christ is a black man. Right? Look just like you, bro. And this is what God requires of you, because he calling for you. Read it.
Proverbs chapter 8 and verse 4. Unto you, O men, I call.
To what?
Unto you, O men, I call.
God is calling the men. He calling the men to build his nation up, to bring back his people to him. Keep reading.
And my voice is to the sons of men.
To the sons of men. Give me 1 Kings 2 and 2. Now we got to learn how to be men. We got to understand how to be men. Because these people ain't going to teach us how to be men. They teaching us how to be grown-ass boys. You know what I'm saying? Silly-ass boys. That's what they teach us to be. But we got to learn how to be real men. To stand up for the Most High. To stand up for our people. Read that.
1 Kings chapter 2 and verse 2. I go the way of all the earth. Be thou strong, therefore, and show thyself a man.
And what?
Show thyself a man.
He said, show yourself a man. Keep reading.
And keep the charge of the Lord thy God, to walk in all his ways, to keep his statutes, his commandments, and his judgments, and his testimonies, as it is written in the law of Moses.
Now we got to keep the commandments of God. God gave us the commandments and statutes to keep, right? Because he ordained us to be the righteous rulers of this planet Earth. In order for you to have your own nation, government, your own land, country, you have to have laws that instructs that, right? Sister, what's your name? What's your name, sister? Huh? Zaria. Come a little closer, sister. I want you to see these signs real quick. Come a little closer. You can see it from right here. So what does this say right here?
Good.
Now, what does this say right here?
Oh, what's up, Doc? Hey, you miss I see you. All right, man? Yeah.
Come on, sister. Come on, sister. Hey, check this out. Check this out. All right, Ferrari. Give me Revelation 1:1. All right, sister, you can see these signs right here, right? Okay. Will you say this is Jesus Christ? Yeah. So, who taught us that Jesus is this? White people. Okay. So, if white people taught us that Jesus looked like this, can we find that this white image is in the Bible? Can we find that? Huh? Okay. So, do Jesus really look like this? So, how does Jesus really look then? Exactly. That's why we out here, sister. Read it.
Revelation chapter 1 and verse 1. The revelation of Jesus Christ, which God gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass.
Verse 14.
Verse 14. His head and his hairs were white like wool, as white as snow. And his eyes was a flame of fire, and his feet like unto fine brass.
He said his head and his hairs was white like wool. Y'all see that? Hey, bro, what's going on? Okay. Now he said his head and his hair were white like wool, right? You see that? He have white woolly hair. So he has hair like us, right? Keep reading.
And his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burned in a furnace.
He said his feet like unto fine brass, as if they burnt in the furnace. So they let you know that Christ is a black man according to the Bible, right? So why would these people teach us these lies and deceive us into being a downgraded people? The book of Jeremiah, chapter 4, verse 22. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people is foolish, they have not known me.
That our people do not know God. They so caught up in their foolish ways. They so distracted in their foolish desires. They so caught up in this dumb stuff that do not profit our people. Our people don't even know the seriousness of why they must come back to their true heritage. They rather be caught up in these drugs, be caught up in laying down with different women than women. Being in jeopardize of catching AIDS, and dying of sickness, of being killed with a straight bullet. Y'all don't understand the seriousness that the Most High is bringing upon your people.
Right.
You gotta understand this thing. God will put your ass to death if you keep ignoring him. If you keep rejecting God, God will reject you. Read that.
Jeremiah chapter 4, verse 22. For my people are foolish, they have not known me. They are sottish children.
They are what?
Sottish children.
They are sottish children. That means you are a dumb ass. That's being straight up. You are a dumb ass. Real talk. We need to stop being dumb children and start being the wisest people on this planet Earth. God gave us the wisdom and understanding how to conduct ourselves as a nation of people. But our people refuse to be like that. You think it's cool to be foolish? How you think it's cool to be foolish? Grown ass little boys. Keep reading.
And they have none understanding.
They have what?
They have none understanding.
You childish young men have no understanding at all. At all, you have no understanding. You don't have the understanding of how to conduct yourself as a man. You don't have no understanding how to raise your young man to be a prophet of the Most High God. You have no understanding of that. You rather conduct yourself and entertain yourself in your fleshful desires. You love the ways of this world. You gonna burn with it. I'm gonna be straight up. Give me 1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. You gonna burn with this world. God made you to be the greatest people on this planet Earth. These people have lied to you for generation to generation to generation, saying that you are nothing, saying that you are inferior and they the superior. When God said you the greatest people on this planet Earth.
Right.
Ain't no such thing as equality. The Bible is not for everybody. It is for the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. You so-called blacks, Hispanics, and Native American Indians. You are the most precious thing to God. God only loves you. You keep believing your oppressor if you want to. You gonna burn with them.
What club was that at?
Admit that a lot of people don't even realize they
I've called her. She hasn't responded. I've called her more than a few times.
But the Zulu nation, I'm like, what the hell is this? I know nobody know what I'm talking about. You'll leave me on the island by myself. I don't know what the hell Bishop's talking about. That's what y'all do. Then after class, yeah, I knew what you were talking about. I just don't want to be caught out there. The hell is this? Get on my damn nerves. So read that again, 31.
Read that.
1 John chapter 2 and verse 15. Love not the world, neither the things that are in the world.
He said, love not the what?
Love not the world.
He said, love not the world. They killed John 3:16 right there on top. Say God so loved the world, but God says love not the world. Because we are the world to God. Children of Israel is the world. When he said love not the world and everything that's in this world. Keep reading.
If any man love the world, the love of the Father is not in him.
He said any man that loves the world, the love of the Father is not in him. You don't love God if you love the world. You don't love God if you love committing fornication. You don't love God if you love whoring at your women. You don't love God if you keep killing each other. You don't love God if you keep hating one another. You don't love God, you love the world. You love everything in it. You love to be in this poison that these people are feeding our children on a day-to-day basis. They keep feeding our children poison. Feeding our children this homosexual mentality in these cartoons, in these education systems. And y'all men supposed to stand up against that. Y'all are too subtle. You lay down and let these people walk all over you. Give me Isaiah 55. Last verse. You let these people walk all over you. That's the thing about it. How can you say you a man, you stand up for something, but you let these people walk all over you? We gotta stand up and fight against this thing. And God is calling us as men of Israel to stand up against this world. Stand up against this oppression. Stand up against these lies. They keep us dumped down and destroyed as a nation of people. Who that is? Hey, drop that. What's going on, bro? What's going on, bro? Bread game. Hey.
How we got over here as a nation of people.
Let me holler at you. What's your name, bro? Dino. So, Dino, name shocking nine, bro. So, what was your question again? Okay, all right, now. Give me Deuteronomy. Let me Deuteronomy real quick. Now, you know that, is you familiar with the history of our people coming over here on slavery, on slave ships, right? Okay, now, the thing is, these things have been prophesied to a nation of people that they would happen to them. And this is the reason why it would happen to this nation of people, right? Because they happen to us. So it's more clarified evidence that we are the children of Israel. Because they have been prophesied that it was happening to the children of Israel. You understand? Alright, Deuteronomy 29 and read verse 1. Now the thing is, if you're familiar with Moses and the children of Israel being delivered out of Egypt, you familiar with that, right? Okay, now, God made a covenant with the children of Israel, right? Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 29 and verse 1. These are the words of the covenant which the Lord commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel.
Alright, now, he said these are the words of the covenant that God commanded Moses to make with the children of Israel, right? Now, give me Exodus 16, verse 5. Now, Exodus 19, verse 5. Now, the thing is, when it comes to this covenant, we made an agreement with God. We made a substantial agreement with God, right? God gave us laws, statutes, and commandments as a nation of people to be the greatest nation on this planet Earth. He gave us the greatest wisdom and understanding because He's the one that created everything, right? And He chose us to be the greatest nation. So by these laws, statutes, and commandments, how we justify each other, how we treat each other, being more civil, right? How we conduct ourselves, right? But He said, if we keep these commandments, then we will be a blessed nation of people. But we strayed away from these commandments that God gave us, right? Because the covenant and the commandments is one and the same. That's what goes into the contract, the agreement that we made with God, right? Read that.
Exodus chapter 19 and verse 5. Now therefore, if ye will obey my voice indeed, and keep my covenant.
And keep what?
Keep my covenant. Then ye shall be a peculiar treasure unto me above all people, for all the earth is mine.
For all the earth is his, because he made the earth for us. So we keep his covenant. We'll be a peculiar people above all people, right? Then Deuteronomy 28:1. Let's get more clarification on that. He said we keep his covenant. We'll be above all people, right? Now, read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 1. And it shall come to pass, if thou shalt hearken diligently unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe and to do all his commandments, which I command thee this day.
Now he said observe to do all his commandments. In the verse before it said his covenant. But now it's saying his commandments. Same thing. Keep reading.
That the Lord thy God will set thee on high above all nations of the earth.
Above what?
Above all nations of the earth.
Now, he said he will set us on high above all nations of the earth. So what did that sound like to you? Yes, rulership. We supposed to be the righteous rulers. That's who we supposed to be. That's what God made us to be. We supposed to keep everything in order, right? But since we out of order, everything else is out of order, right? Read verse 2.
Verse 2. And all these blessings shall come on thee and overtake thee, if thou shalt hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God.
Right. Now, if we keep his commandments and statutes, we will be blessed as a nation of people, right? Then it goes into their covenant, it goes to their blessing. But this is our birthright. Now, this is the reason why these things is happening to us, because we strayed away from that. Read verse 15.
Verse 15. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy God, to observe to do all his commandments and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee.
So all these curses gonna come upon us and overtake us, right? If we strayed away from keeping God's commandments and statutes, right? Now read verse 68. Now we gonna go straight into the slave ships. Then we gonna go around and go into the timeline of history, right? Read that.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 and verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again with ships.
Okay, first time, as we spoke about earlier, when Moses had delivered the children of Israel, we walked out of Egypt, right? Because Egypt is right next door to Israel, our homeland, right? This time he's saying we're gonna go there in the cargo slave ships. The word Egypt means something. This is the Bible, the Holy Bible, King James Version. They is never gonna teach us this. Old Testament and New Testament, right? They ain't gonna teach us this in these sun worshiping churches. What they teach us? They teach us this. This is lies. They ain't gonna teach us the truth. All right? Now we're gonna give you what the word Egypt means. Read it.
Exodus chapter 20 and verse 2. I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
It said out of the house of bondage. So Egypt means bondage, which goes to captivity and slavery, right? Go back.
Deuteronomy chapter 28 verse 68. And the Lord shall bring thee into Egypt again.
Of slavery again. Keep reading.
With ships.
By cargo slave ships. Keep reading.
By the way whereof I spake unto thee, thou shalt see it no more again. And there ye shall be sold unto your enemies.
Be sold to who?
Your enemies.
Be sold to who?
Your enemies.
Gonna be sold to your enemies. Step on this side. You're gonna be sold to your enemies. God called them our enemies.
What is a nation? Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is men leading by example. Nation is women's support. Nation is children with role models.